Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Unfuck Yourself podcast. Per usual, we are live in front of the Unfuck Yourself membership queens, and you can get in with them at any time. We record the podcast live, and then after we have a Q&A where you get mini readings, where you get tools, and everyone basically gets a tool to take home because the tools apply to everyone in the room, even if you don't get your question answered. You can come and go as you please. Okay, we are getting into part two of our soulmate, soul complement. What's the difference? How do you get one? What's going on? This is part two. If you are just listening to this and you have not listened to part one is essential, not optional, but essential to understand what the fuck I'm saying in this one. If you just jump into this one, it will literally make no sense, I promise you, because we are literally going part two. Like, I am not re explaining anything that we talked about in part one. So go to part one. It's about 3 episodes down from this one. And go listen to that, because if you don't listen to that, this one will be so not helpful and will make no sense to you, because this is quite literally a part two. Like, this is the next step of what you need to know after part one. So go listen to that first, do yourself a favor, and then come back and join us for part two. Okay. Now that you've done part one, welcome to part two. In part one, we talked a lot about what a soul complement is, the difference between a soulmate and a soul complement. Now we're kind of at the part of like, okay, cool, great. Like, what do I do to get a soul complement? Like, what is required? What's happening here? So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how it's not something you just get, you have to earn it. It's kind of like, what's so interesting to me, here we go, I'm already going down a rabbit hole, but what's so interesting to me is everything in life you have to earn. If you want to be a doctor, you can't just show up to a hospital and be like, I'm a doctor today. Let me do surgery on you. Like, no, you have to go and learn how to perform surgery. You've got to go to college. You've got to go to medical school. You've got to earn, you've got to go be like a student doctor. You've got to earn your right to the place of being an actual doctor. Same thing with a lawyer, same thing with a teacher, same thing with literally anything, with a dancer, with a actor, with whoever. You've got to earn your right to go be able to be good at those things. But somehow what happens in the spiritual world is all of a sudden none of those rules matter anymore, and it's you should just get things. It's like you should just get a soul compliment, or you should just get all the money, or you should just get your dream soul pull career, or you should just get $1 billion. Like, that's not how it works in the human world and on earth in life. That's not how it works. Even when you're with source, that's not how it works. Like with anything. So why would that be how it worked in the spiritual world? It's not. You actually have to earn your soul complement. You have to earn the right to have that. Just like you have to earn the right for anything. Who here has had to earn the right for something in their life? Like, we all have, right? You have to earn the right to graduate fucking high school. You've got to go to school and like get the grades and go through all the things, then graduate, right? You have to earn the right to get anything in life. So why wouldn't we have to earn the right to get the knowledge and the tools and the ingredients we need to get the things like the soul complement and the career and the soul pull and the finances and the perfect health and body, right? It's people get in the spiritual world get earning it mixed up with worthy. We're worthy for sure because we're here. We're worthy, like, just as a soul, because we're here. And just because someone has more money than you doesn't mean they're more worthy than you, right? Like, but people have confused that for earning the right. It's two different things. Two different things. You still have to earn the right for something like a soul complement, for something like your soul pull career. We're going to talk about how we earn that right a lot today. And also we're going to talk about why beauty actually fades in relationships, like why attraction actually fades in relationships. And it's not what you think, and it does not have to happen actually, if you do things the source way and you follow the laws of the universe, attraction should amplify each year in romantic relationship, not diminish each year. So those are simply ingredients, and we're going to explain kind of how that works today too. Now, obviously, I'm going to try and fit as much as I can into 45 minutes to an hour of this podcast, but it's going to be stuff you've probably never thought of or heard before. And at the same time, we are just scratching the surface of the information we have to give here about this stuff. So we'll start here. We're gonna do the best I can. And then we get a lot of ingredients inside of Glow Foundation and Glow Formula for these things. Okay. So, like we talked about, a soul complement is so much more than a soul mate, right? A soul complement is the fastest and quickest growth that you can have. Okay. It is you with all your complementary balancing parts in all areas of your life, like we talked about. Okay. Now, just because you and a soul complement might be a match in all areas of life, if you don't understand all of the components that have to be there to get into a soul complement situation, it will quite literally blow up in your face because you won't know how to deal with it. Because a soul complement situation is the most reflective thing you will ever have. You thought you had problems and reflections before, go be with your soul complement. They will make sure you know every single problem you have ever had, every single limiting belief you have ever had, you will ever have, you do have right now. Your soul complement will for sure be the first person to reflect that to you and to let you know. Justin and I have a whole story about this that we'll share when he comes on the podcast on Thursday about how we got into a fight on our literal honeymoon because of this exact reason. And it's like so funny now. But, and looking back, I'm like, oh my God, we were acting like 8-year-olds. But this is what happens with the soul complement. So if you don't have the knowledge of how it works, the knowledge of reflections, the knowledge of ingredients, the knowledge of the universal laws, you won't be able to handle it. It's just not, it will blow up in your face, right? And then you'll have thoughts of like if I didn't know what reflections were, how universal laws worked, or how people just literally mirrored my creator field back to me, especially my soul complement, I would be in turmoil because I'd be like, oh my God, we just had a fight on our honeymoon. Like the human side wants to go, oh my God, we just had a fight on our honeymoon. That's not a good sign. We're gonna get divorced in 5 months, right? Like the human will do that. But when you know how to use your intuition, when you know the laws of the universe, when you know reflections, when you know how people, specifically your soul complement, really just mimic your creator field back to you, you then understand, oh my gosh, this is the greatest gift ever. And this is going to be the fastest growth. But if you don't have the knowledge of this, you will quite literally break up with your soul complement in 2.5 fucking seconds. This is what I mean by earning the right. Because if you don't, and you would happen to somehow get your soul complement, you only have one. So you'll fuck it up. It'll blow up in your face. So it's kind of like you know how to um I don't know, you know how to bowl, but then someone goes and asks you to golf. Like you don't have the manual to golf, so you can't just go and like play golf really well. You've got to earn the right to go play golf really well. It's the same thing, okay? So that's a soul comment. You have to earn the right to get there, which then kind of leads me to um how do we do that, right? And what's the process of that? So, if you can be in a relationship with yourself and you can feel whole on your own, and we'll talk about what whole means in a little bit, and you have the self-image tools and ingredients to get yourself feeling whole and good and complete on your own, that would be one of the things that is required to create and have a soul complement. Okay. Because if you could be in that complementary relationship with yourself and you guys love the same things as each other, you guys are also going to expose each other and you're going to expose the biggest wounds in each other. So if you guys are going to expose the biggest wounds in each other, that means that you've got to be pretty fucking okay with yourself and have a pretty high self-image to be able to take what they're about to throw at you, because they're about to throw at you the deepest self-image holes in your creator field, voids in yourself that you are not even aware of. So if you have a fragile self-image, there's no way you're going to be able to handle the things that they start to reflect at you, because those things are the deepest parts of your self-image voids that you haven't even known are going on, or you haven't even thought to look at. So I'm kind of like sounding so scary. And people are probably like, I don't want this. This sounds awful. But it's so worth it. It's worth putting in the work. Okay. I've put in about like 10 years of conscious work. Of course, there's my whole life of like unconscious work that led me to the 10 years of conscious work, but I've put in about like 10 years of conscious intentional work to essentially earn the right. And it's so worth it. And your girl's been through like through shit, including getting cheated on. The person I dated like long time ago cheated on me with another girl named Allie, who is also blonde. I mean, I've had like crazy reflections in relationships, even growing up with a relationship with my dad and that kind of thing. So it's, we've gone through a lot, and I'm sure everyone in here has gone through a lot, right? And all of that is also part of earning the right too. But earning the right comes with the knowledge and embodiment of doing things differently to create differently with these things. So we could go down the route of like all the stories I have about this, but I'd rather go down the route of how to earn the right with this stuff. So you, here's the thing where people also get tripped up is they are going to mistake their emotions and their ego for their intuition. Emotions and ego are going to tell you to leave the person because they don't make you feel good. Oh gosh, I saw a TikTok or a post on Instagram, I forget which one, and someone was like, here's how you clear your breakouts. Break up with your boyfriend. And I'm like, that won't work. Maybe temporarily, but then you'll get a new one and they'll make you break out again because of your own feelings about it. And it's so sad because it wasn't like even like a funny comical comedian post. It was like a literal, like this person was posing themselves as like someone with knowledge, and they were literally like if you want to get rid of your breakouts, you like break up with your boyfriend. Like that's why you have breakouts. And but they were looking like they knew what they were talking about. Like they posed themselves as that. And I'm like, oh God, like this is actually what people are now being taught online. So here's the problem is that's training your emotions and ego to be like, oh my gosh, I'm getting UTIs. My body's rejecting my partner. Like, no, you're getting a UTI because you have an emotional imbalance that your partner is probably bringing out of you and showing you, but they're just showing you your emotional imbalance. They're not giving you, nobody can give you something you don't have. Nobody can give you something or make you feel a way that you don't already make yourself feel. That's it. So, because of that, your partner is just reflecting your own deep emotional imbalance, your own deep wound void somewhere within you. So, what happens is people will let their emotions take over, or they'll go to therapy, they'll be emotional, and their therapist won't be using their intuition. And their therapist will be like, yeah, you deserve better, break up with them. Well, here's the problem. Like we talked about in part one, this will follow you until you shift it in yourself. So you have to identify, like in life, the difference between And really the only way to do this is intuition, right? And but not even just intuition, having someone with scientifically precise intuition that knows the emotional mastery tools to not emotionally manipulate their intuition. Either you got to find someone with that or you've got to train yourself to do that. But in order to train yourself to do that, you've also got to find someone who can do that so they can train you. So either way, you've got to find somebody who can do that, right? And so humans, we w usually want things because we feel like we don't have them. If you're saying I want, you're saying I'm lacking. You're saying I do not have. So what happens is we pick careers because we don't feel relevant or because we don't feel good enough or we don't feel special, right? Every actor who has ever came and done a one-on-one session with me, they're not supposed to be an actor. They have chosen that career because they didn't feel special. So they needed a lot of attention from a lot of people to because they thought that was going to fill that void and fill that wound of feeling special. But the same thing can happen with a lawyer. Maybe you come from a family of lawyers and you're told that if you're not a lawyer, you're basically a piece of trash. Do you even bother living? And then they'll go be a lawyer. So most people are choosing careers that are from a void of I don't feel good enough. I don't feel special enough. I don't feel relevant enough. So they go and pick a career that they think is going to make them feel special or make them feel relevant. Okay. And this is how we have been programmed to think. And it's really not helping us at all in life. Like, honestly, most people of the world, like 98% of people of the world, pick things in life, careers, partners, want to get their soul complement super fast based off of things that they think that they are missing or they think they don't have. Okay, we all do it. And so we we need to go the other way, okay? We need to start going, I need to give this to myself. But people don't do that. So because people don't do that, we end up really wanting careers that are not our soul pull careers. They're based on the deep void of not feeling special enough or not feeling relevant enough. Now, this is the same thing with relationships. But before I go into that, a real quick story. The only reason I wanted to professional dance was because it made me feel important. It made me feel special. I got attention for it. And when I was called out for that by my teacher and mentor, still to this day, but at the time also, I fought to the death, like my literal ego death. I fought to my literal ego death of no, like I love dance. I'm just passionate about it. I love it so much. What I loved was how special it made me look, or how much attention I got if I posted a dance video, or that I got attention for how good my body looked because I always was training it. That's what I made me feel special. But at the same time, it made me feel like the worst person in the world when I wouldn't book a job or when I wouldn't get the thing I wanted, right? So my specialness was based in, am I going to book this dance job or am I going to not? And if I did, then I was special and super fucking cool. And if I didn't, I was fucked. And that's nowhere to be or to live. Now, when I started healing my self-image, I just no longer wanted to dance. And I was obsessed with dance. Like, you've got to ask someone who grew up with me. Like, I ate, slept, and breathed dance. I would wake up, go to school, convinced my dance teacher to sign off on my senior year that I only had to go to school for 3 hours because I was going to the dance studio the rest of the time. Would go to the dance studio, would train all day, would then teach to pay for my own dance classes. After I taught, I would then do my own dance classes, repeat every single day, all day, was obsessed with it, moved to New York City for it when I was 18. trained there, moved to LA, got on a dance agency, just was upset. Like I my you couldn't everyone was like, "What do you like to do for fun?" Dance. Who's your boyfriend? I don't want a boyfriend. I love dance. Like I would literally be like, I'm marrying dance. Like it was embarrassing. So I had no other personality other than I'm a dancer. So it wasn't like a hobby for me. I was obsessed. Okay. I get obsessed with things that I'm passionate about. Well, so you couldn't convince me otherwise that that was not my soul pull. Like there was no if, ands, or buts. I'm trying to show you how extreme I was about dance. It wasn't a hobby. It wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do something else. Someone even told me one time when I was 21, Allie, I can see you being a great businesswoman one day. I got pissed. I got pissed at them. I was like, what do you mean I'm a dancer? Like, I don't want to be a businesswoman. That's so rude of you to say. Or when like my mentor when I was like 22 was like, your intuition's getting really good. Like I wouldn't be shocked, wink, wink, if you start doing this soon. I got so pissed at him. I was like, literally, fuck you, man. Like I don't want anything to do with this shit. Like I'm just doing this to be a good dancer and to manifest my dance career. Like don't even talk to me about this. Like there was no doubt in my ego and I was supposed to dance for the rest of my life. So that's how extreme I was. So you might be like, yeah, Allie, like that might have been a hobby, but you knew all along you were supposed to own this business and do this. No, bitches, I did not at all. Like you might be like, yeah, Allie, you probably knew this all along, but like I'm really passionate about this. No, same. So was I. So was I. Like you could not have told my ego otherwise. But I start to slowly but surely just heal my self-image. And then I'm starting to look at the clock in dance class. I'm like, huh, why am I looking at the clock? I've want to be in dance class for 10 hours. Why am I like waiting for this 1 hour class to be over? Then I'm on a dance job, dancing backup for a literal pop artist that everyone would know. And I'm mad that I'm there. I'm like, I don't want to fucking be here. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is like supposed to be like a really cool job that I just booked and I don't want to fucking be here and I'm mad about it and I like don't care and I'm forgetting the choreography because I don't give a fuck. And I'm starting to like realize, wait a minute, like I don't actually want to be here anymore. And it was interesting how as I was healing my self-image, I slowly wanted to stop dancing. Huh, interesting. Weird. What does that show you? That shows you that I wanted to dance professionally. I like to dance for fun still. I have no interest in doing it professionally, but I wanted to dance professionally for feeling validated, special. I didn't feel special enough. I wanted a bunch of people to see me dance and perform to feel special. I wanted to book a tour with a pop artist so that I could feel special. I even, this is embarrassing, I even convinced myself. You guys, I can't fucking sing, okay? I even convinced myself I could learn to sing really well. And I'm like, I'm a dancer, I can learn to sing really well. I'm gonna just go like, I'm gonna work my way up and I'm gonna be the next fucking, Britney Spears. And now knowing what I know of how you have to get there, I could never, but with all the dark force things, but I was like so searching for just millions of people to tell me I was special so that I could feel special because I couldn't feel it on my own. Okay. Now, why am I telling this story about career when we're talking about relationships? Here's why. The same thing happens with relationships, right? Maybe there's this thing that I've had, we all have, right? That you're thinking of, I want a soul compliment because I've never really connected with anyone before, or I want a soul compliment because I want to feel special, or I want a soul compliment because I want someone to always be there for me, or I want a soul compliment because I want, I want, keyword want, right? So what I am getting at is people go after things, right? When you feel lack. If you're ever saying I want, you're saying I don't have. If you say I want, you're saying I am without. So, because of how we're built, we are going to think an external thing is going to solve our internal want. And as long as you're wanting a soul compliment, you won't get one. So, when we in life will, unless we have a genuine heart pull for something, it's probably not what we're supposed to have. I was convinced I had a genuine heart pull for dance, like convinced. You could not, no one, Jesus could himself could come down and try and tell me otherwise, and I would have fought with him. There, like no one could have told me otherwise. But again, that actually wasn't my genuine heart pull. So we can mix up a genuine heart pull with our emotions, with our ego so bad that we will convince ourselves to the death that, or someone else to the death, that that is our genuine heart pull. Okay. So if I have a genuine love for intuition, right? Which I do, even though I was convinced I didn't when I was 22, but I do. If it's a true, genuine love and it's not based out of a reoccurring soul lesson or a lack or a limitation that's created me to want that, right? Just like a lack or limitation created me to want to dance. And if it's not created, from a soul plan to kind of override my views of myself and let other people make me feel special instead of me having to make me feel special, right? If it's a genuine heart want, like genuine heart want, heart pull. And this is one of the things that we help people a lot with here is to separate the two, ego and heart pull, because most people, again, like 98% of people, they want things, but they want those things for the wrong reasons, right? Which means the higher self never picked those things, which means going after those things takes them off their soul path, their higher self path. Okay, so if it's a genuine heart want, then it's like a guaranteed possibility to get. Okay, so if you have a genuine heart want of having a soul complement, it's a guaranteed possibility. That makes no sense. Guaranteed means that it is like you can have it. Like it's the guarantee part means if you do all the tools and all the ingredients and all the things and take all the steps, you will get it guaranteed, right? But again, you have to earn the right. So the possibility part comes in is, are you going to put in all the work, all the tools, implement them, embody them every day, learn more, grow more, not fall off the wagon? That's the possibility part. So same thing with like a soul pull or whatever. It's all a guaranteed possibility if it's a genuine heart desire. If it's genuine heart desire, it means it can happen. It doesn't mean it will. We have to pay our dues, right? But it can happen if we pay our dues. It is not an impossible thing to get. It is a highest likelihood if we just take the steps on that right path to go get that thing. Here is the kind of like trick. So we've talked about that if you want something for the wrong reasons, which is most people and myself included until I this really clicked in my brain. Then we also will want relationships for the wrong reasons, right? People then want careers for the wrong reasons. They want money for the wrong reasons. Now, if you or someone you know has a super precise intuition where you can weed out the emotional stuff very clearly, and they tell you this is a genuine heart want, heart pull, heart desire that you have, it means it would be almost impossible if you do what your higher self said to do, that it's required to get that. Like you won't be denied your genuine heart pull. If it is genuinely in your heart, it can happen in this life if you take the steps to earn the right to make that happen. Like if you take the steps, there's no way you can't get it. So this is like same thing as soul pull, right? If it's a genuine soul pull, heart pull, and you take the right steps and implement the right tools and the right self-image ingredients and the right things in your creator field and understand the laws and how everything works, you are guaranteed to get it. Now, if you don't do that, you're not just going to get it. You can't just go be a doctor because you just decided one day you want to be a doctor. You've got to earn the right. So, for example, like once I started healing, I didn't have to heal my whole entire self-image to realize I didn't want to dance anymore. Once I even started healing just a little bit of it, I was like, I actually don't want to dance anymore. And I started to get this heart pull that I could actually hear louder because my self-image was starting to like get weeded out and not controlling my whole life. I could hear my pulls louder. And I started to get this pull to just really help people and start to help people change their lives, just like how I was changing mine. And so I then, realized, oh my gosh, great, this is my path, and nothing can stop me or nothing can prevent this other than my lack of like working for it, right? But if you're trying to get something that's not in your soul pull, you either have to go the dark force route to get that, which is the whole entire entertainment industry, because most of them are not supposed to be there. That is not most people's soul pull, right? So you have to go the dark force route to get it, or there really is no other or. Or you just don't get it, or you keep trying and trying and trying, and you're wondering why like you haven't gotten the thing that you want or are supposed to have, or you feel like you're supposed to have. So I'm really explaining this because I want everyone to understand like a genuine heart want means your life was arranged to have that. It's not guaranteed you'll get it because you are in charge of doing the tools and learning the ingredients to get it, but it was arranged for you to have that. You found the right podcasts, you found the right things, you found the right books, the courses, the right teachers, the right things to help you. It's your job to go implement everything that you are learning, right? So this should feel empowering and not like, oh, fuck, because as long as you just implement the tools you know you need, you're good to go. So everyone is probably like, oh my God, fuck, like I got to figure out my actual heart once, and I got to figure out the ego, and I got to figure out what's what, and I got to get rid of the ego, and I got to figure out my heart once. And here's where you can start. And you get really rewarded when you start to follow your soul pull, even though it might not look so cute to the outside world. Like, what looks cuter? Pro dancing for a pop artist on tour, or one day coming out and being like, I'm an intuitive. Everyone's like, what the fuck is that? Like, what looks cooler, right? Might not look super cool at first, but when you follow that, you get massively rewarded and it pays off. I promise I'm going to explain how this has to do with soul compliments in a second. So here's the other thing in where I want to talk about being whole, if you heard me kind of mention that before. If you have a genuine heart pull, if you have not met the criteria to bring that in, then your higher self, the universe, the powers that be will prevent those things from coming to you. So compliment, career, money, until you are ready. Well, that sounds fucked. What do we do? Why would that happen? The why this happens is because the genuine pull from our soul, from our heart, is designed to last our whole lifetime. You're not supposed to lose it. And if you do lose it, it was never a genuine heart one. So if you lose it because you didn't get the thing you wanted in 2 years, it was never a genuine heart one. If you lose it because it didn't go the way you wanted it to go, it was never a genuine heart one. If you only want to sing in front of people and don't care to sing at home by yourself, that's probably not a genuine heart one. If you wouldn't do what you're doing for literally free, it's probably not a genuine heart one. You can't do it for free because of like self-love purposes. You don't want to tank your self-love in your creator field. But if you would be willing to do it for free, then if you would not be willing to do it for free, then it's not a genuine soul pull or heart one. It wasn't the real like thing. It was some outside thing that you thought you needed to feel better about yourself in some way, somehow feel more special, feel more relevant, feel like you're enough, whatever it is. Okay. So people find this a lot in relationships where they think they're with the one, but it doesn't work out. Unless you have jumped through some kind of hoops and done some dark forest rituals or something and brought your soul complement in early, the soul complement will not show up until you're fully ready. You can go do some dark forest weird rituals, bring them in early. I would not suggest that for many, many, many reasons. um, don't do it. But if you're like, oh my God, I had my soul complement when I was 13 and I fucked it up. No, you didn't. It probably wasn't your soul complement because you would not be able, or you would not have the right ingredients or tools to pull them in early, unless you did some weird shit that wouldn't suggest to go do and fuck with. So this is one of kind of the energetic laws of the universe. And this is sort of like kind of sources commitment to us, right? So basically what that means is you will never be able to pull in what you haven't earned the right to pull in, which is good, or else you wouldn't have the right tools to hold it and you would lose it. Imagine pulling in $1 billion and then in 5 years, you didn't have the right tools and you didn't have the right like things programmed in your creator field to be able to keep that and sustain it. And imagine you lost it in 5 years. You wouldn't want that, right? You would want to have all the knowledge, all the tools. Maybe it takes 5 extra years to get all the knowledge and all the tools, but at least you can keep it versus losing it in 2 years, right? At least you can keep it and have it sustain with you your whole entire life. Same thing with a soul complement. People want to get their soul complement tomorrow, but they don't realize how detrimental that could be if they're not ready. They would fuck it up and they would lose it. And then you only have one soul complement in each lifetime. So then you just fucked it up, right? It's insanely detrimental to the soul to get things too early when they're not ready, when they don't have the right tools. So what that means is you're never going to be able to pull it in without the right ingredients, the right tools. And we teach a lot of the ingredients that are essential for all of these things in Glow Foundation and Glow Formula. But before we even get into some of those, there are conditions in the universe that if you are not 100% ready, have all the understandings, the knowledge, and the tools and the experiences for it, you're not going to get it, so you can't mess it up. And if there's a possibility, there is a possibility of messing it up, there's only one soul complement. And there's only one soul pull career specifically for you. And so you don't want to risk getting those too early to mess those up. So don't go and leave here and be like, I'm going to go get my soul complement tomorrow, because you may or you may not have, you're definitely way more fucking advanced than me and where I was at. It took me way longer than it has to take you, but you may or may not have all the right tools and ingredients and knowledge about it quite yet. You'll do it way faster than I ever did, but you might not have it quite yet. So there are too many like contracts and soul obligations at play that you won't be able to get like a do-over if you already fucked up your soul complement, which is why this is kind of like the agreement we have with Source of we can't get something till we're 100% that it's meant for us, until like actually meant for us, actual heart pull, until we 100% know how to hold it. We know the right ingredients to create it. We know the right tools. We know the right laws of the universe. We've implemented them and we've practiced them over and over and over again, that we know like we won't drop the alignment. So it might sound like, oh my God, that sounds scary. It's not. It's It's here to help you. Those laws are in place to help you so you don't get something you're supposed to have too early and you don't fuck it up because you don't have the right information too early. If you have gotten something you're supposed to have it. Like your higher self knows you can handle it. So it's actually a really cool law. And it helps to heal the belief of like, oh my gosh, if I get something and it's gonna leave me, like whatever. If it does blow up, then it was part of a learning lesson for you and it wasn't supposed to, like, it wasn't your soul complement and it wasn't your dream career, unless you've done weird dark force acts, which I doubt anyone in here has because I shield my podcasts and programs from anyone who has. So I doubt you have. Um, so I want to take this idea and understanding of this now to relationships because people think like, oh, I don't have to um, use these tools. I don't have to have the tools. I can just kind of show up and I don't have to date. I can just decide I want to meet my husband. I can go meet my husband or meet my wife or meet my whoever. And I don't have to date. I don't have to practice. That is not true. We have so many voids and so many imbalances. We all do just because of how the world's set up and what our souls chose to come in and have. And our higher selves, of course, they intended us to have those imbalances, right? But to heal them and shift them and to grow. But we have to earn the right to connect with a genuine heart pull and desire for the soul complement. So a soul complement is a genuine heart pull in this lifetime. And if you think that a relationship isn't a heart pull, I wouldn't, maybe not soul complement, but if you think a relationship isn't a heart pull in this lifetime, it's because of trauma, right? Anyone who's like, I don't want to date, I don't want to be in love, I don't want to be married, I'm like swearing off men or women for the rest of my life, like I want to be alone. That is, I've never seen it, and I've tested and I've looked intuitively across like everyone ever, like the collective, that I've never seen that be an actual heart pull. It's usually from an imbalance that's happening, right? So, just like a soul pull career is a genuine heart pull in this lifetime, that can't come in unless you have all the ingredients, right? It's kind of like if you want to make a cake, you need all the ingredients and you've got to leave the cake in the oven long enough too. If you take it out of the oven too soon, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be solid. It's going to be not ready. So people want things fast, but you've got to let things like cook in the oven a little bit also. So, same thing here is if you aren't ready and you aren't dialed in and you don't have the ingredients, and we teach a lot of like the whole ingredients, feeling whole. We teach a lot of the self-image ingredients you need for these things in Glow Foundation and Glow Formula. If you don't have those and you're not fully ready and you aren't able to handle every curveball that will come, because they will. And if you have potential to lose that thing or lose that person, that would fucking suck, right? So you don't want to get it yet until you have those right things. So you have a heart desire, you have a soul pull for a soul complement. You were supposed to in this lifetime, okay? In this lifetime, let's say you're supposed to be with your soul complement by the time you were 40. I'm making this up, 40, right? And let's say you pulled it in early because you did some weird thing and you somehow said or did something that the soul complement didn't, you or your soul complement didn't have the tools. Because you got to think about them too. Were they ready? Right? You or the soul complement didn't have the tools and wasn't ready to handle, you lose them forever. And now there's no other soul complement because there's only one. And that is kind of the idea with anything that's a genuine heart want is that there's only one of those things. So because there's only one, you have to do all the steps. You have to meet all of the like levels and check all the boxes because source doesn't want for us to have this heart desire and then fuck it up and ruin it and then have consequences of fucking it up and ruining it for another, 50 years or whatever, and kind of sort of waste this thing that could have been a beautiful union. So that's why we need to understand that there are steps and tools and understandings and embodiments that we need to have and do and be and embody to get the soul complement. So again, this is like we're scratching the surface today of this. I just want a general understanding. And then we do dive deeper into like the actual ingredients and tools of this in foundation and formula and all things glow. And if you were at the glow retreat last year, we talked all about being whole and what that means. And there's 4 ingredients to being whole, which is to being in love with yourself, which you need to create the soul complement. But I want a general understanding first today. It's kind of like a prerequisite to all of that of how this works. So, Source has been trying to show us for a long time about genuine heart pulls and trying to put you with the right relationship in this lifetime. So, we're talking about this because most people, like 99% of people, are going to want their soul complement right now. They're gonna be like, I want it right now. But here's where you have to use your intuition. You have to find someone or you have to train your own intuition to be super, super, super precise so that the person can see. Like, what we'll do is I'll look in and I'll be like, you're only like 12% ready for your soul complement right now. So if I give you manifesting tools to manifest your soul complement right now, you will blow it up. You don't want to speed that up right now. How we speed up a soul complement, let's say the source way. Let's say you're supposed to get your soul complement at 40. Let's say you're 25, right? You come into a session with me and you're like, I want to get my soul complement tomorrow. And I say, not going to happen because you're at 12% ready for them. So if we somehow make it happen for you tomorrow, like you're going to blow it up. You're going to be fucked. So what I do and how we speed it up the source way is we get ingredients. Let's say they need like 18 different ingredients of self-image things to create a soul complement situation. We get them those ingredients, over time. I would never give someone 18 ingredients at once. You won't do any of them because you'll be overwhelmed. But over time, we get them the ingredients. Well, now with the right ingredients and the right understandings and the right healings of past relationships and the right knowings, and we look at their wounds from past things, well, now they have now sped up the timeline. You can speed up your timeline, right? You can speed up from getting it at 40 to getting it at 32 or to getting it at 30, or you can speed it up even about 18 months to 2 years. So now they're meeting their soul complement at 27 versus 40, right? You can do that with the right tools, ingredients, and understandings, but only because you earned the right with the right tools, ingredients, and understandings. So, whereas if they would not have decided to go and seek out those things and really implement them, it would have taken them until they were 40 to fully discover all the things and implement them. You can speed it up by going to seek out the things that you need and implementing them, and then you can speed up your timeline. We love to speed up timelines here, the source way. So it's important though to understand okay, I'm only 12% ready right now. Let me not just go do some weird manifestation thing and get it tomorrow. Let me do this the source way, get the actual tools and ingredients and understandings I need, the right healings I need to get my creator field right so that my creator field can actually speed up this timeline because I'm actually ready now and I'm not taking any shortcuts. So again, if you bring someone in too early, they will react the wrong way. You'll react the wrong way. They'll say the wrong thing. You'll say the wrong thing. You won't know how to handle it. They won't know how to handle it. And that will happen because a soul complement dynamic will bring the biggest obstacles you've ever seen in your life. You thought you've had obstacles before. Get in a relationship with your soul complement. Maybe you are in one with your soul complement. You'll know. The obstacles will be massively loud. And if you're not ready to deal with that and you don't have the understanding of the spiritual scientific laws of the universe, like reflections and like understanding what being whole is and like what feeling special is and like how to feel unique and how to feel fully complete on your own. All things we teach in Glow. If you don't have those things or find those, whether you come to Glow or not, or you go find them somewhere else, recommend finding them somehow, somewhere. You don't have to find them in Glow if you don't want, but they're there. But if you don't find them, then the most perfect of a match in a soul complement will not work out again because it does not work based on like the human ways of doing things. Like, let me just keep fighting, let me just keep trying and push through and make this work. That's not how a soul complement is going to work. They only work with the right tools, understandings, realizations, healings, ingredients to create the perfect scenario. So, you one of the things to get a soul complement is you have to be the most whole that you have ever been. And you have to know like every single thing that comes up is a reflection. And if you want to blame them for a second or want to blame someone else for a second, you're not ready for a soul complement situation. Like if you have any ounce of wanting to blame the other person for a second, it will blow up. It's easy to want to blame the other person, but they're just reflecting you. So, relationships, people in marriages, they fall out of love. And you hear all the time from marriages um, that if people get divorced, like, oh, they just stopped being attracted to each other. They just stopped, loving each other or whatever it is, right? But this is just because they are actually missing ingredients. Okay. Ingredients are just like how you need ingredients to bake a cake perfectly. You need certain ingredients programmed into your creator field to get the kind of intimacy and love you want, to get the kind of career you want, to get the kind of money you want, to get the kind of body you want. Everything is all made up of ingredients. So there's 4 ingredients for intimacy and love. And those are the 4 ingredients I talked about being whole. And when you have all those ingredients and you have the perfect amount of them, then you stop losing the love in the relationship. People don't fall out of love. You are just missing ingredients in your own self. Well, Allie, could they be missing ingredients and I fall out of love with them? Nope. You are in charge. If you're not attracted to your partner one day, it's because you're not attracted to your own life. So it's not because I'm sure they have their own thing for sure, but I treat everything as like we're on the fucking Truman Show. You know that movie, The Truman Show? Like it's all about you and your own universe. So if a person's with a partner and it's Susie and Bob, and Susie comes in and she's like, I'm not attracted to my partner anymore. I'm looking at Susie's fucking problem. I'm looking at what Susie's not attracted to life in her own life, and we're fixing that, right? Now let's say Bob, her husband, comes in and Bob's like, Susie's not attracted to me anymore. I'm also now going to make it about Bob. I'm not going to make it about Susie, who's not attracted to her own life. I'm going to make it about Bob now. Oh, Bob isn't also attracted to something in his life. Therefore, it's causing Susie not to be attracted to him. I'm looking at everyone. You cannot blame the other person. I'm looking at everyone individually. I look at myself individually. Does my partner or your partner or someone else's partner have their own stuff? For sure. But if you're feeling something, it's your own reflection. You can never go blame the other person. 2 different people are having 2 different experiences and 2 different reflections, but you can't blame what your partner's feeling for what you're feeling. So ingredients like intimacy and love, there's 4 ingredients to create that in your life. It's again the ingredients around feeling whole. We discuss this in Glow of what they are. I can't just throw them out here because I don't want to do you a disservice of just giving you 4 ingredients and you not understanding what they mean, how to connect to them, It's not helpful. What's helpful is understanding how this works at first. So, when you meet those, then you will lock in having intimacy and love. And it should grow more and more and more versus diminish in your life, in your relationship. It's really cool what we can do with the right ingredients. So then we have to go, okay, is this a genuine heart want? Am I wanting my soul complement now because it's time or because I'm feeling incomplete? You might have a pull for it because it's time. You might have a pull for it because you're feeling incomplete. So, one of the requirements to get a soul complement is most people want a relationship because they feel incomplete. They feel this like void inside of them. And this is a huge, huge thing to understand that most people don't understand and aren't taught is creating the perfect soul complement partner is you feel whole on your own. You feel special on your own. You feel more than enough on your own. You're not in a place of want. You feel like full of intimacy and love on your own. You feel so complete that you feel like you don't need anyone. And not from a I don't need anyone space, but from a I feel like whole. I feel good. I'm not, it would be cool if someone came in, but I'm not like, I need it, like a hunger monster. Like, I need it to come in. Right. So it's like, I love myself. I love being by myself. I meet all my needs on my own. A person would be a bonus. I would love it. I'm open. It's not like I don't need it. That's an imbalance. Right. But it's like a person would be a bonus. I'm open, but I'm not like in this place of want and lack and I need it and thinking about it all day, every day. And I need it to be okay. And so now, if the ego is saying that that no, I'm good, I don't need it, you might want to get that scanned by you might want to learn your intuition, scan that yourself. You might want to get that scanned by an intuitive you trust. You might want to see, is that the ego saying you're all good or are you actually all good? Because one of the main ingredients to get the soul complement is you've got to feel whole and complete on your own. One of the main ingredients to get whatever partner you're with to be nicer to you, think you're more attractive, compliment you more, take you out on more dates is to feel whole and complete on your own. So, if we do not feel whole, like fully just in love with ourselves on all ends with these four ingredients, then we are feeling like we are not complete. And when we feel like we're not complete, we're going to search for things on the outside, right? But if we are not whole, if we are not complete, nothing and no one on the outside of us, jobs, money, soul complement, perfect body, whatever, nothing on the outside will ever fill your void. It will never make you feel complete, ever. You can do that from the inside out. And what's cool is when you do that, then you start manifesting some cool shit because you feel whole. So you continue to create whole in your life. You continue to create more than enough. So again, one of the things you need for a soul complement dynamic is feeling whole, is feeling complete and being able to fulfill that love for yourself by yourself. And when you can do that, now you have a script of I'm giving myself so much love. I have so much love. I'm giving myself all this love. Then other people are going to want to give you all this love. So that is one of the requirements is being able to fulfill this void of feeling incomplete. A fun way to think about this is, and we do a lot of this in Glow Foundation, it's how you create anything in life is feeling whole and like you already have what you think it will bring you. One of the things you can do is start asking yourself, what do I think the perfect relationship will bring me? What do I think it will make me feel like? You can start making yourself feel those things. But there are 4 specific ingredients to feeling whole, though, too. One last thing that we'll touch on is who here has heard attraction fades or beauty fades or watch out for the young 19-year-olds walking by your partner when they're 40, because that's not creepy that they're staring at them. Anyway, like you hear all these things, right? Or you hear guys just want to go for young girls. Does that happen? Yes. Is it because it's like the truth of what goes on? No. Is it because of a missing ingredient? Yes. What ingredient do you think a 19-year-old has that a 50-year-old woman does not have? Any guesses in the chat? Yeah, I'm hot. Even more self-love. Yep. Confidence. Totally. 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 Yes. Feeling youthful. Totally. So many things, right? All of this sums up to attraction, right? Feeling attractive, essentially, right? So, they tell you like attraction goes away. You become less attracted. You're not attracted to your partner. That's not because of a physical thing. That's a total fucking lie. I think Justin's one hotter than ever. Like it was actually funny. Like I knew when I first met him that I would be more attracted to him. Even I was attracted to him still, but I like knew I'd be more attracted to him later. And that's a very true statement. And I can say the same for him, and we can hear it from him on Thursday if we want to, but it's the same thing for him. I can feel that from him. And we've never been more attracted to each other. And obviously, like, yes, I know, like, I'm still in my 20s, blah, 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 but I was technically, quote, younger like 5 years ago, right? So it's just such bullshit. And every year you can be getting more and more attracted to your partner, and they can be getting more and more attracted to you. How you get them more and more attracted to you is by simply plugging in ingredients around attraction. There's about 7 of them. Again, we dive into those in glow stuff, but there's about 7 ingredients for attraction. And one of them, I will tell you, out of the 7 is feeling like you're attracted to your life. Like feeling like your life is like other people should want your life. You got to feel like other people should want your life. And that is one of them. And there's 6 others that, again, I'm not going to give you all of them once because it's overwhelming, but you've got to feel like people would want to live your life. That is one of them. Physical looks mean nothing. Creator field is everything. And then when you have these in your creator field, you end up starting to physically look better and different anyway. Like you end up starting to elevate how you already look anyway. I look so much fucking better. Like, no offense to me when I was 22, but like I look so much better now and younger, honestly. Like, I'll show you a photo. I'll post one on my story later. I'll find one. It's like we love her, but like I look way better now. So it's crazy how even your physicality up levels too without having to get Botox or do any of those things when you have these ingredients. Again, we talk about all of these inside All Things Glow and how to connect to them, because you can know the ingredient, but you've got to embody it for it to actually work, right? Knowledge doesn't is only half the step. You've got to like know how to embody it. So it's really important to understand this idea of being ready on every single part of this. So every relationship that you're in is getting you ready for the soul complement. So if you're not in a relationship, go on dates. What's triggering you? What do you notice they're not super attracted to you? What are you missing in your creator field, right? You can go that route of trial and error, which is what I had to do for a really long time. Or you can go find a place where someone else has gone through the trial and error and they can just give you the ingredients and then you don't have to go through the trial and error like I did for 10 years. I wish I would have had somebody to give me all of them at once. But it was supposed to happen for me that way. So I don't actually wish that, like, I'm glad it happened the way it did, but it can take you way shorter amount of time if you just go where you know someone has the things to give you. Maybe it's not here, maybe it's somewhere else, but you've got to follow wherever you're getting pulled to go. So we have this kind of like rule where it is higher self first, soul first, and not the human, right? So even though maybe today kind of shattered some human dreams, I don't like to sugarcoat things because I'm not going to sit here and tell you you can go get your soul complement in 4 weeks when that would probably be really detrimental to you and them and your whole entire life. So, but you can speed things up with the right ingredients, just maybe not in 4 weeks. But I am willing to hurt the human ego. I hurt my own feelings every day. I'm willing to hurt everyone's feelings for you to access your higher self potential the quickest, right? So the human might think it wants something, but when it gets it, the human is always empty because there wasn't a genuine heart want for it, right? Or if you were to somehow get it too soon and there was a genuine heart want for it, you're losing it. And then that creates a whole other problem for the rest of your life too. So, if anything, what you should focus on after today is I am going to start to feel the most in love with myself that I have ever felt. How can I do that? What are the steps? And start to ask yourself, what are the steps to that? How can I do that? And what do I need to start to implement and do in my life to make that happen for myself? And I've spent a long time figuring out self-image hacks for the creator field. And I can tell you that when you implement them, they are so fucking worth it. Is it hard? Yes. Will you have frustration? Yes. Will you probably feel like you're failing? Yes. But all of those things are needed to get a mastery over your creator field. And it's also hard to not do those things. It's also hard to just like sit around and keep, wanting things too, right? It's kind of like, which hard route are you going to take? Amazing. I will leave you with this. I will see you in the next episode we put out in a couple days from now. The membership queens are hearing this live. I'll see them again on Thursday for another live episode. Justin is coming on the podcast. We're kind of going deeper into this and our own personal journey with this and our own reflections and our own I'm just really going to be outing myself. It'll be fun. So we're going on our own little personal journey of kind of everything we just talked about here, and we'll explain it more. This is kind of like the understanding. We'll explain our stuff more through personal stories when we're together. And if you do feel a pull to work on these ingredients, everything we talked about today, all those ingredients are inside of All Things Glow. You get to Glow Foundation, you then get to Glow Formula. And then if you go on the retreats, there's full embodiment of them there. It's a really fun time. So we will also link that in the show notes for you. And even though I might have scared you today, I promise having a soul complement is totally worth it. And one of the most beautiful and fulfilling and soul growth things that you could do and get for yourself in this lifetime, even though it's going to make you probably want to, rip your hair out for a little bit. It's fine because it will get you the most growth you could ever. I mean, nothing will get you growth like that, like nothing. And even if you are married and you're like, is this my soul complement? It doesn't fucking matter. Use that person, whether it is or isn't, as your greatest fucking teacher, because once again, whether it is or isn't, you won't get you have to earn the right to get that level of someone treating you really well anyway, or get that level of like full, whole, and completeness of love and intimacy. So work on this. Let me know in the DMs how you're feeling, and I will see you guys in the next episode.